You can never really be upset with a team that goes out to one of the best teams in the world, and this is the defending champions. That doesn't make an excuse, though, because even being the defending champions, they shown a lot of frailties within this competition. So as we said in the break, and I will remind everybody, if England are going to be successful in this, they need to be the aggressors. They need to go out and effectively punch Argentina in the mouth before they receive a punch. Because at some point, that guy over there who's 5'7" and arguably the greatest player that's ever touched the football will punch you. He will give you something to think about. He will turn around and do a moment of magic, as to why we've associated him for greatness for so long. But it depends on what you do to start this game. It's really going to determine whether or not England are going to be successful, because they have 3 stars on their chest, and you should be envious of that, because the history between these two countries, I'm talking just purely from a footballing perspective, tells you that this is arguably the biggest game that these players will ever play in their life. Step up to the moment, accept the responsibility, and they'll get behind Jude, man. Jude!
JayDee, I got a question for you, though.
Hit me, bro.
We were talking about this a little bit, before we came on here, and the expectation,
yes,
from media, from English people, to me, it's way too high.
Way too high.
I don't think the English team has ever been, for the longest time, an elite footballing nation. And we even have, Grella talking about it the other day, the standard. To me, the standard is getting to the semis is above the standard. Right now, what was it, Hannah? They've gotten to the semifinals, I think, 4 times in the Euros and the World Cup in the last 8 years. That is above the standard for the English national team.
Why is that above the standard?
Because they've never done it before. They invented the game of football, won 1 time in '66, and then ever since, they've been the standard. Why? They're not the standard. Brazil's the standard. Argentina's the standard. Germany's the standard. Even Italy, who hasn't played in a World Cup in 3 times, is the standard. Those are the standards.
I don't think it's fair to turn around and compare transitional periods, because you're talking about Italy winning the World Cup in those periods of time. And it's true, we grew up in the 90s and Italy had the best domestic league. They were phenomenal in terms of the players they produced, not only for their national team, but obviously the showcase that we got every week in Serie A. But they've only won 1 World Cup and had an element of disappointment over the last, 12 years has it been? How many times have we seen Italy sit here and fail, talking about their failures after and over again? Brazil, we've had the conversation in this World Cup about this Brazilian team lacking the Brazilian identity. So they're not in the conversation. Holland is another one that always seems to be there but never quite complete the job. So we talk about all of these countries. I remind people, I was here, present, working in the media when people were having the conversation around whether or not Lionel Messi was good enough to lead this Argentina team before 2022. So give these an opportunity to, and I'm going to remind everybody, the 9 and the 10 that's playing for England right now are arguably the best players in the world in their position.
That I agree with. They need to be praised, though. They need to be praised. The Italy team, Tone, I'm gonna let you talk in a second. The last part for me, the Brazilian team, the Italian team, these teams need to be crushed in the media and by fans, because they're 5-time world champions, 4-time world champions, and we haven't seen them progress in the last 12 years too well. These guys need to be praised. They're going above and beyond what the English national team has done in 60 years.
I just listened to you, JayDee. I don't know where you sit on the English national team. I don't know if you believe in this group outside of these 2 players, because you should, or you think they're going to win, or you don't think it's coming home. Is it? I don't know where you sit with this team. I'm amazed at the discourse around this English side, because I agree with you, right? For me, it's been an underachieving English national team for a long time with regards to winning trophies. I agree with you, because you said, I don't know if you said it on air earlier or we said it production meeting, when you get to the semifinal of the competition, anything can happen. Anything can happen with you can pick any. We're going to do picks today, tomorrow, Sunday, but you may as well flip a coin with all of these
At this
teams.
stage, yeah.
Right. But they haven't been able to get over the line, and that's the part that surprises me about England for so many years. I go back to 2020. I loved, of course, Italy won the Euros, right? My second country. But this was a better team than I thought Italy would. But they couldn't get over the line. I wonder now if they can get over the line with this group. But I love the fact, everyone keeps talking about Thomas Tuchel in his quotes after the game. It wasn't good enough. I was like, I'm watching him. It's incredible what they've done. They've been able to grind out games. You go to Azteca in the way that they were grinding out that game, and the moves that he made to put defenders on the field. Like, that is how you win. The expectation to think that every game is going to be beautiful. I listened to Grella the other day sit right around here, right, and say, oh, this team doesn't know how to play football. That's how you win football games sometimes.
It is.
It's not pretty all the time. You just have to find a way to win. It's knockout football.
So let me tell you what's different about this team, the other teams that I've seen. All of those great achievements we saw from Gareth Southgate and the way that he's led this nation and pretty much connected the country again to football as a unified nation was fantastic. But I almost called that was setting the plate. Right now, we're in the middle of this meal.
So 2018 was setting the standard.
That was setting the plate. That was the remix of we dealt with the golden generation that didn't even get along. The Lampards, the Beckhams, the Gerrards, who couldn't even sit together at certain camps because of their domestic rivalries. Now we're sitting here and we're talking about these players are unified. Now, what I was interested to see with England throughout this competition was their mentality going to be in the right place? The Azteca was the first test. That was the first test for me to showcase to me that the mentality was in the right place. I got glimpses against Congo when you didn't give up. I got glimpses against other teams in the group stage where we weren't playing well, but still didn't give up.
Panama's another one of those glimpses.
Fantastic.
Right? The 2-0 game.
So, but what you're going to see right now is whether or not they can go out and actually truly believe they're better than these teams. Because if you're asking me on paper, I take this England team over everybody minus France. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go out and do that, because those teams, especially France and Spain, are connected. You're going against the defending champions who have the presidents already here. These guys need to believe they're the best team in the tournament. If they do, they will win it. If they don't, it will showcase in one of these stages.
The scary thing in this match up for me is there's a DNA in Argentine footballers. The DNA is winning, right? Because I agree with you. Man for man, you would pick this English side. But there's a DNA about Argentine footballers right now that leads you to believe that they'll find any way to win games.
That's true. And
that's what they need.
I want to say one thing about that word DNA. You know who has the DNA? Jude Bellingham. I see it on and off the ball. He doesn't care who he's up against. He believes he's the best player on the pitch every time. That's the mentality you need to win a World Cup. Every time.
Yeah, I feel like we could talk about England this whole show, everyone. But we do have a huge match between England and Argentina, and one storyline to watch in this game. This next one is going to be presented by Enterprise. This tournament, every corner kick goal is your chance to win a car. So here are some corner stats between England and Argentina. They're near enough the same. They both average around 5 corners per match, getting 8 shots and scoring 3 goals from corners. Which team, boys, will likely win this corner kick battle? How important would these corners be in this upcoming semi-final?
I mean,
yeah, I don't know. You would think England has the edge with height, athleticism. You know, even the idea between the Premier League and Arsenal finding new ways to you know, be dangerous on corner kicks. But Argentina, I think the last time I saw a stat that they had scored 5 times off of set pieces. So both teams seem to be dominant in those areas. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
JayDee, why are you laughing?
What are you laughing
no,
about?
I'm just laughing because you know what's so funny about when I watch corners now? Tony said it in the pre-production meeting, which we get to bring him behind the lens. The camera's always in the wrong place. I could not care about the kicker. I honestly, I don't want to see those slow-mos of Declan Rice. I don't want to see those. I want to see what's happening in the box. What's the jostling? What's the position like? Who's setting screens? Because it's almost, these corners have almost become like American set pieces. People are setting back screens. I see flare screens. People are curling around. Someone's free at the back stick. They're all designed. They're all done purposely.
That's why he wore his NBA shirt.
It is. It is. I understood the assignment today, and now I'm just.
Elliot Anderson understood the assignment last time too, taking that charge, that soft charge. Oh my goodness!
Take it, because you know if someone 6'4" grabs you and throws you on the ground, that's built like a linebacker, I would take it too.
Should we take a look at the starting 11s, projected starting 11s? Who we think is going to be playing in this game? I think the biggest question is how is England going to stop Messi? Tony, what do you think they're going to plan against him?
Yeah, the thing to think about, right? 3 goals in their last 4 games that they've scored, although they have conceded. How do you not give up 3 goals? Because I don't know that you can give up if you're England. They're not a high-scoring team, right? They find moments. They have found the moments in this competition. Do you want to give up 3 goals? And how do you stop? They find ways. They create ways. Think about the tying goal in their last match against Egypt for Argentina. Ball knocked down. Messi comes in and almost the impossible half-side volley, right? And the way, I mean, okay, I get it's Messi, but the whole creation of the goal came basically out of nothing, right? A long ball in the box, a knockdown. They just find ways to score goals. If you're England, can you afford to give up 3 goals? I think you're going to get goals, right? With the 12 goals that they've scored in the last 4 games, they've also given up 6, right? So you're going to find a goal or 2 in here. I don't know that you can concede 3. How do you stop Argentina from scoring 3 more?
You know what? When I see these 11s and I see them side by side, this is not no biased. Minus the goalkeeper, England should be looking at this team and feeling like we're better than everybody minus Messi. Look, I'm being dead honest. I would not take Enzo Fernandez over Jude Bellingham. I would not take Julian Alvarez over Harry Kane. I'm not even being biased because I'm English here. I'm being dead honest. When I look at this, Declan Rice is a better player than Alexis McAllister. Like, the two centre-halves have way more experience and showcase what they can do in a domestic league in terms of, you're talking about a Premier League champion, one of the most decorated of a generation, and he's just gone and become, and I still think he's England's best defender against Romero, who hasn't turned up from the Spurs shirt for 2 months, arguably 2 years.
But he shows up for this.
And Lautaro
Martinez. For this jersey, though.
And he does.
Yeah.
And Lautaro Martinez, who I think is good sometimes and inconsistent sometimes.
Yeah.
Lautaro's on the bench.
What are we talking about?
But look, JD, just to counter, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think you've made really good points. My first question is this. Do all those 11 players believe what you just said? That's one. That, to me, is the number one question. You said Jude Bellingham believes he's the best player on the field whenever he comes out. I think the English national team need to come and play against Argentina and truly understand that they need to take it to them and not sit back and see what the world champions are going to try and do to them. That's one. The other one is this. I see this 11. Some things need to change. Right? You need to bench DePaul. You need to potentially bench Paredes. I think you need to put Enzo Fernandez and McAllister as the sixes. You need to put, a Simeone to get up and down on the right side, maybe a Nico Paz on the left side. You need more youth in this team. This team is aging, and I don't think that this team can get it done unless those guys believe that they can.
Yeah. So you want to see Scaloni use his bench more?
I think he needs to. Okay. I think this team can't get it done. It's too old and too tired.
Okay, then everyone. Well,
Boy, a lot of people have been saying that, Hannah.
Yeah. If you want to put some bets on for this game, we're going to be bringing in Mackenzie Brooks, our betting expert here at CBS Sports.
Mackenzie, get out of the way.
She's like, Tony, get out of the way.
She's got her own graphic. Okay,
this is my segment. Get out of the way.
Get graphics.
What bets have you got for us then in this game, England v Argentina, Kenzie?
It's funny you guys mentioned the corners because I'm actually going to be betting on corners in this game, which isn't something I typically do. Now, the first half of this parlay is going to be a goal in the first half. Typically, it is an Argentina goal, but in every single World Cup game for Argentina, there has been a goal in the first half. They've conceded very few. Most of the time, it is them. But again, that gives us the insurance in case it is England. We can still hit that. And then Argentina over 2.5 corners. Again, you mentioned they're averaging around 5 through the World Cup, averaging 7 in their last 4 games here. So obviously, we're buying low. Obviously, tougher competition than what you're seeing in the group stage. So the 2.5 feels very, very reasonable for this Argentina team. And then we're going with Bellingham to score or assist is plus 190, which feels like too good to be true. Like I'm blindly walking into a trap. But I don't care. I understand it's plus 190 because they're really only implied, according to odds makers, to have a goal. It becomes plus money for over 1.5 goals for England. But any version of English success, I just feel like he has to be involved in, let alone the 4 goals he's had the past 2 games. So to score or assist at plus 190, this is a number that's been minus 130 at some parts of the group stage, right? So to get him at practically plus 200, I don't see any version of England having success without him being involved. So I'm willing to blindly walk into this trap if that's what it is. I can sleep at night losing that bet.
Boys, we like the bets.
Too good to be true usually is, though. That's what my mom always told me, so be careful with that one.
Sure. Bellingham bet, JD?
So asking for a friend here. This one here, if you a good friend. If you put $100 down on this one, what do you get?
Almost $200.
Almost 200. Okay.
Yeah.
On Bellingham to score or assist.
Score
Correct.
or assist so it's not like first half. This is the entire
this
game.
Is the whole. Listen.
Wow.
The later we get into this tournament, you're going to see it just quote unquote less likely to score goals. So everybody who was maybe minus 120 to score in group stage is now going to be like Mbappe is even money to score, right? Which is a really awesome price for a guy who keeps scoring. Same with Messi. So you're going to get these better prices, but that's because odds makers are implying you're going to see less goals and less opportunities.
Okay. Do you think there'll be more goals in this semi-final or the other one? France,
the other
Spain?
one.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.